Yep.
Maybe Candace Owens is a psyop, a Freemason psyop.
She is.
It's meant to sow discord.
The truth, and that they got the guy, and now we need to see.
Hang on, AP.
What?
We might need to. I know people like messing around saying, "Hey, what if Candace is actually working for so and so and so on?" I mean, think about this. Right after Charlie's murder, people have pointed out you didn't see like people burning buildings to the ground and so on. What did you have? You had tons of people saying, "I haven't gone to church in my whole life, or I haven't gone to church in years, but you know what? I'm going to church now." You had tons of people going, "Hey guys, this is a time to set aside our differences. We need to work together in fixing all the things that are wrong with this country." You had tons of people who were shocked at how many people were online celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, laughing about it, mocking it, and so on. And a bunch of people were like, "You know what? This is something that's going to rally us." And what do you have? You have Candace Owens jumps in the middle of it and tries to rip it all apart. If I wanted to pick anyone who's getting paid to ruin things, it would be people like Candace Owens, because you had this huge movement, this instantly starting, and then who wants to rip it apart? Candace Owens. Keep in mind, with that said, I don't believe it's some psyop. The point is, if I'm going to think like that, who's part of a conspiracy to screw things up massively? Well, who's screwing things up massively? Candace Owens. So if I wanted to point to anyone and say someone's getting paid to ruin everything, I would probably be her.
Now,
Yasmin Mazawi, you are
now Tucker is promoting his new series, which is questioning 9/11.
Oh, perfect timing.
For 24 years now, politicians, the media, intel agencies in this country and abroad have all demanded that you believe the official story about 9/11. And here's what it is. They tell you a group of al-Qaeda affiliated terrorists, many of whom were known to U.S. intel services, somehow managed to evade capture for years as they planned the most significant and elaborate terror attack in human history.
Yes, that's actually what happened. I'm sorry. I know it's very cool to be like, "Oh no, I don't accept the official narrative." It was, how can you be stupid enough to believe what they say? Are you stupid or something? Yeah, that's actually what happened.
Hey, you know what's extremely screwed up?
You know what's funny? It's actually counterculture right now. Now it is counterculture to actually defend the actual real narrative. It is now officially the unpopular position to defend the actual narrative, which is actually proven right. It is now the popular thing to go with all these stupid conspiracy theories. And here's Greg saying apostate thinks weapons of mass destruction were in Iraq. First off, what the hell does this have to do with what we just talked about? Secondly, yes, weapons of mass destruction were actually prior to the invasion inside Iraq. However, at the time of the invasion, they were no longer in Iraq because Iraq very much lost their capabilities. However, did you know that Saddam actually, at this point where America was claiming that there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, was openly bragging that he not only has, but is also developing and advancing weapons of mass destruction? Did you ever know this? If you found out today that Saddam Hussein was actually openly bragging that he has weapons of mass destruction and that he's developing more weapons of mass destruction, if you knew this, would you think that invading Iraq was probably partially justified? Because who else would be more reliable in terms of whether there are weapons of mass destruction inside Iran or not than the leader of Iraq or not, than the leader of Iraq? He actually did make those claims until his last moments. Were you aware of this? Or did you only become aware of this whole narrative later on when it became popular to say America made up a story about weapons of mass destruction, but it was never there, then they invaded it? Saddam Hussein openly bragged about it until Iraq was invaded. I don't even care if they were weapons of mass destruction or not. I'm glad America invaded Iraq. I'm happy that America invaded Iraq. Because if you're going to go out there and brag about this, and brag about having weapons of mass destruction, considering also that Saddam Hussein actually carried out genocides against his own civilian population with weapons of mass destruction in the past, such as against the Kurdish people, if you're going to brag about this kind of stuff, you deserve to be invaded and stopped. So I'm glad the invasion of Iraq happened. I'm really, really glad about it.
Hey, yeah.
What?
Hey, you know what's messed up?
What?
This was posted yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So this was posted on September 23rd. If Tucker has his series on 9/11 being an inside job, when should this have been posted?
On 9/11.
He actually delayed it because Charlie just got shot.
Well, what a good man.
Yeah. Hey.
What?
So the CIA was behind 9/11. Haven't seen it. Didn't know this existed, but I'm assuming Mossad's involved and Jews are involved and Israel's involved too. But Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. It's like, you ever seen the John Wick movies, AP?
No, I don't watch children's movies.
Here's what's really, I mean, they're good movies. That's why they did so well. But the idea is basically there's like an assassin every block. There's all day long you're just walking by assassins. There's assassins at the grocery store. There's assassins here. There's like this huge culture of assassins. And it's like there's a scene where John he's in a park and it turns out everyone, hundreds of people, everyone in the park is an assassin and so on. Then he starts walking away. Everyone he goes past is actually an assassin. There's just assassins. And it's like, okay, how many people are getting assassinated in the world that there needs to be like hundreds of thousands of assassins everywhere in this underground assassin culture and so on? Anyway, so that's the silly part of it. But based on what these guys believe, that's actually what it is. Like there's just assassins everywhere working for all the governments and working for all the agencies, just assassinating people left and right and assassinating everyone who's getting out of line. And Tucker and Candace are the one who are exposing all these assassins in all these powerful places. They're exposing all the Israeli assassins. They're exposing all the CIA assassins. They're exposing how all these governments are doing all this stuff, and they have all these assassins working for them 24/7, assassinating people. And yet Tucker and Candace are just freely exposing all this stuff on every platform on the planet. Isn't that weird? They don't even have to go on Rumble. They're just posting this stuff on YouTube, and
that's
they're
funny.
fine.
But nobody wants to hear about some weird movie that is in some unrealistic world where apparently assassins go around and have superhero powers, and some guy goes against 100 people and never gets shot and doesn't die and all that. What's next? Are you going to talk about the Avengers? Are you going to talk about Mr. Captain America or something? When are we talking about Wonder Woman? What about Spider-Man? What about the latest Superman? Are you going to say that this is basically just like Superman?
We're not talking about some comic book world, AP. We're talking about real life assassins. They're everywhere. They're assassinating everyone. And Tucker and Candace, for some reason, are being allowed to expose everything the U.S. government is doing, everything Israel's doing. They just never stop them. It's like the U.S. government and Israel, they're like, let's take down the Twin Towers, and then they pull it off. But Tucker figures it out. Candace figures it out, and you can't blame them for figuring out because Candace spotted the Jews, the dancing Jews over there. They had to document what happened, so they had to stand over there and record it. There would have been no other way to document their success in making these buildings collapse. And now the U.S. government, the FBI, the CIA, Mossad, they all conspired to kill Charlie Kirk and blame it on some 22-year-old kid But Tucker and Candace, once again, they're on the job. They're exposing it. And this elite group of assassins with the power of the world's most powerful governments, with all the assassins working for them, gosh, they just can't stop. They just can't stop Tucker and Candace Owens.
That's funny. I wanted to listen to this. I've never really listened to it.
The presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good.
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism, or just
Nope, in my bed at night. I
Annabelle
got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled.
4 dogs in your bed?
Physically mauled.
That was probably a dog, dude.
attacked by a demon?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's sitting in bed with a pit bull and he gets mauled and he thinks it's a demon?
Wait a minute. In my bed, dogs, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs.
4 dogs in the bed. Your wife and 4 dogs in the bed, and you think it was a demon that scratched you?
While I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled.
You got mauled. You had 4 dogs in the bed,
And
it was a demon that mauled you.
Yeah, by a demon, or by something unseen that left.
Is that right?
Claw marks on my sides.
They looked exactly like my dog's claws.
Yeah. Year and a half ago.
Was your wife terrified? I know you were.
I wasn't. I was totally confused. I woke up and
It was probably his wife, man. Did somebody check on his wife? You think it was the dogs?
No, I mean, put it this way, if it was anything other than the dogs, it was Israel. Netanyahu sent in Mossad with their new invisibility cloak, clawed him, and the rest is history.
I'm pretty sure it was his wife. Must have been his wife. It was either his wife, the dogs, or it was Israel. So yeah, there you go. Alhamdulillah.